To the Barrel Buddies, I'm James.
And I'm BJ. Welcome back to your weekly whiskey, wine, and all things barrel-aged podcast.
Tonight we have. Well, actually, no. Let me say this first of all. I think if you were not on the show, I could never repeat what you say at the beginning of the show.
Thanks.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, "Ooh, what if BJ isn't here? Could I repeat what he says?"
You
And
could.
I said no, I could not. So tonight we have Benchmark, a wonderful Buffalo Trace product that we are continuing down the line. Back to Benchmark. And first thing, well, this is now second thing, right? And Bourbon Cat. Look at Bourbon Cat making her way down
she's
here.
been
Come on,
quiet
J-Boo.
and
Come
asleep.
on down here, Jamba.
And the moment we start the recording, here
she knows.
comes.
She hears the intro.
She's like,
"Oh, comes right over.
It's my turn to be on the show. Here we go."
Yeah, she's like, "It's my turn. Come on."
Yeah, so we've been doing some Benchmark, as you may or may not have known. I hope you know, because that means you've been watching our show. And we're continuing on this Benchmark journey with the Foolproof tonight. Why do they call it foolproof? What is foolproof? What does that mean? We're going to learn about that tonight. Talk about what that is.
That is a great question. And I actually would say that I learned something new today as well, because I did not know. My assumption was that they put it in at the barrel at whatever it was distilled at, regardless, and then they don't proof it down and they just take whatever the barrel produces.
Oh, that would be barrel proof.
And that's barrel proof.
That would be barrel proof.
Which is different than foolproof. And we'll get to what foolproof is, but another fancy, well-known foolproof bourbon, Weller Foolproof.
Weller Foolproof. How about 1792 Foolproof?
Spartan 1792 Foolproof. Both Buffalo Trace products.
Both from the same range.
Tell us what is considered foolproof.
So foolproof, it's interesting. Foolproof means, and it actually says it on the side of this bottle, but foolproof means that it's coming out. They proof it and put it in the bottle so that it matches what they put into the barrel. So the distillate goes into the barrel at the same proof that they decide to put it in the bottle. So this is 125 proof.
Okay.
Which means distillate went in at 125 and they ended up bottling it at 125. So that's full proof. That's what they're calling full proof. And
all
so
right.
the little statement they say about that on the bottle is, this Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey is bottled at the same proof that it enters the barrel, bold and robust. This 125 proof Kentucky straight bourbon unveils hints of chocolate, brown sugar, and spice. So sip and savor.
So we had to get this. So Benchmark is not distroed here in Vegas. So we've talked about this. If you watched our previous Benchmark shows, we actually had to go track this down in SoCal. So when we were down in
California,
yeah, we were down the gold mines. Anyway, we found it down in Anaheim. And for $25 a pop, who was not going to scoop them up? I've never had it before.
Yeah.
I've never had any of these before. This is my first time trying all of these. And we figured, you know what? Let's get all in the series that we can find.
Let's be honest, though.
Yeah.
Let's be honest why we bought these.
Yeah.
We bought these for a laugh.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't take this seriously at all. Benchmark, you know.
We knew like Benchmark is Buffalo Trace juice. It's bottom shelf Buffalo Trace juice.
Yeah.
But I think this journey is proving out to be something interesting.
It is.
While regular old Benchmark, $7.99 a bottle Benchmark is not our favorite. We were pleasantly surprised,
right,
with the small batch. And the ratings that we get on, or the ratings we read, and some of the people we've talked to, some of our friends and other whiskey groups, they like the foolproof. They like the top floor. In fact, do you feel comfortable sharing what?
Yeah.
Said about what he thinks this is.
Yeah. So there's a lot of speculation, right? And there's some speculation that. You know Buffalo Trace, and they do the antique collection, is that some of this may be like Buffalo Trace antique collection seconds, right? So there may be
BTAC rejects
or Weller Foolproof rejects, or you never know. Like whatever. It sounds like it's all probably a big fantasy and made up, but
That's
it's
the title
cool.
of the show. BTAC Rejects.
Oh, and then we
gotta have our weird face in the thumbnail, like
we could do a we
We're
could
gonna do
a
that.
lot of clickbait, but we're not like that here on this show, so
well,
we don't do
will
that.
be this week.
We're not doing that. You'll edit it in post. I want to get to the chat really quickly. So we have some Uncle Punky says, hello, Bourbon Cat, and hello, people. Hello,
What
Uncle
up,
Punky.
Uncle Punky?
Ed says, what up, guys?
What up, Ed?
So it's been a while. Good to see you,
see
Ed. Patrick Curry.
Patrick, thanks for joining us
Thanks
tonight.
for joining. He says, Buffalo Trace foolproof tonight. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Correct.
I'm not getting a nose off of this from a distance.
It's not.
it's
not.
not-
So sometimes we get this right out of the bottle as soon as we pour. But interesting, out of the neat glass, the unofficial official glass of the Barrel Buddies.
Yeah.
It has an interesting nose. It smells like a candied apple.
Really?
I think it smells like a candied apple, not a caramel apple, a candied apple.
So let me do this. Let me share the Buffalo Trace description of this, and we'll kind of go through it and together. So here we go. We got a little benchmark foolproof. We're gonna do this.
Yeah, they're saying so on the nose, a lot of baking chocolate, or not baking chocolate, but baking spice, a hint of chocolate, a little vanilla, and a lot of clove is what they say they lean into on the nose.
Yeah. So from the Buffalo Trace's website, so this Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey is bottled at the same proof as it enters in the barrel. I'm pretty sure you read this already. Bold and robust, this 125 proof whiskey is meant to be sipped and savored. Per their website, tasting notes should be deep brown sugar and chocolate are followed by bold tastes of caramel and baking spice. The finish is long and rich. $25, readily available.
Brown sugar? I don't get a lot of brown sugar on the nose.
See, that's why I really don't like. You can't go off of tasting notes, in my opinion, right?
I don't get that, and a lot of people I think are chiming in on that. I read a few things in prepping for tonight's show, and I think a lot of people were saying, "Yeah, all that brown sugar," and I'm struggling.
What's up, Mandatory? Welcome to the show.
Struggling to find that.
Yeah, okay, and I'm already kind of.
I do get the chocolate. It smells like a Hershey chocolate bar. I can smell like when you smell Hershey chocolate.
Wow,
like
you do kind of get like that cocoa, like the
yeah, you can smell that. I'll give
baking,
that.
like baking chocolate.
Like a baking
It's
chocolate.
not sweet, but you do kind of get that
semi-sweet
cocoa
morsels.
cacao. Let's get into this. I want to jump right in. So cheers, friends.
Cheers, and
let us know. Cheers to you. Let us know in the chat what you guys are drinking. It's always fun to hear what you guys are drinking with us tonight.
Ooh. 62.5%. This is not messing around.
God, that's got some heat, man.
There's some heat to that.
We're working on it. So Mandatory wants to know about Manarino. We were just talking about Manarino. We know he's doing well. We know he's been super busy. We've been super busy. We're working on it. So more to follow. We hope in the next couple of months we'll get something planned. Just life. We're lucky we're having a show tonight. I was very sick last week. My
Poor
apologies.
Jimmy. Yeah, how you feeling? You feeling better? You sound
so it was like a combination of like, and not that anybody cares, a combination of like a head cold, allergies, and then it just kind of turned into like a sinus infection and the whole congestion. And I think I'm still maybe at like 90%. I'm not 100% recovered, as you can probably tell in my voice. And a little bit of congestion, whatever. So we had to cancel the show last week. So our apologies, but we're back. We're back. And they said whiskey's a cure-all, right?
Whiskey.
So
whiskey is a solution.
just keep on drinking, and there you have it. Cheers.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, you're very Owen Wilson there.
Wow.
What do you got?
I'm perplexed about my feelings on this whiskey.
I can break it down in very simple terms for you.
I'm perplexed.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's too hot. It's too much heat. It's too much ethanol bite. And that is masking what I believe could be some very good complexity in this.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever say that. And don't get me wrong. I know everybody's, OMG, give me the highest ABV you got in the store because that's cool. Guys, it's not. Get over it. High ABVs are not the way to go unless you're drinking for effect. And so with that being said, we've had some bangers out there that have been 60 plus 120 proof plus that we thought were delightful. This though has a harshness that I'm having a hard time getting over. It might be just me. BJ just walked away. He might just be done. He might have just left the show. He said, he's like, I'm done. He table flips and just walks out the door. For those that do not know, this is the one and only Bourbon Cat. Jamba joins us on occasion. We were just talking about her the other day, how it seems like on cue for the Barrel Buddies, she knows when to come down. 20 years young. She had a birthday last month. And unfortunately, she is completely blind now at this age, but that's okay. She's still keep on trucking, as they say. And you threw a cube in there.
So let's have this conversation.
What do you got?
Tonight's a good night to have this conversation because I had this conversation over the weekend at a friend's house who asked, they know we do the show.
Yeah.
They found out that I know a little something about bourbon and whiskey and tasting. And they asked the question, oh, well, when do you cut? And when do you add water? And when is it appropriate to add an ice cube? And it was a really interesting discussion because, listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell any of you out there that there is a rule for this. I'm not going to do that. There are a lot of feelings. There are a lot of directives out there about the cut, about adding some water, a couple of drops of water to any of your spirits, because it causes there to be space between the ethanol and the alcohol molecules in your beverage. And it allows your taste buds to process and enjoy that a little better. I don't necessarily always think that cutting it does the spirit any favors. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. If you go back to the old Benchmark show, the original Benchmark show, adding water to this made it much more drinkable.
It did.
And it made it like a sweet tea on its own. Not great. Adding ice, like lots of rocks, lots of crushed ice, would probably make this delightful. We talk a lot about not liking to add cubes because what we're trying to do is enjoy the complexities of the spirit. And we think about what gets bottled and crafted and sent out to all of you. Crafted is a good word. It's not a word we throw around lightly. As somebody spent either a multitude of hours in crafting and creating this recipe so that you could enjoy it and experience this particular feeling and flavor. And some other people spend years blending and perfecting what that should taste like. And I don't personally feel good about messing with that. It just like a chef. When a chef at a high-end restaurant cooks you a good meal, to go and ask for salt or sauce or something that messes with the vision of that chef who created something for you. All right. And I'm not talking about you go to Ruby Tuesday. I'm talking about you're going to, a James Beard award-winning chef, even a James Beard nominated chef, somebody who has vision, right? They're crafting something. They're doing artistry for you to experience.
That's
and
fair.
I treat this with the same style of respect and regard. And so I'm very careful about when I choose to add anything to my whiskey. Because I want to feel that. And so when do you add a cube? Well, I think a cube mutes your palate. I think adding cold,
that's fair.
It keeps you from experiencing everything. But in a case like this, where James, you were right. This is hot.
It's a hot mother.
For 62 and a half. We've drank things hotter than this that drink easier.
Yeah, this is like really, I'm having a hard time getting over it.
It's
and thank you for you're very like on a roll there. That
Sorry,
was great.
I just have feelings.
That's fine.
But I think this is an appropriate time to add a cube, right? When you're overwhelmed with what's going on in the glass and you need to find some space.
What do you do?
Then adding a cube is a great way because you're going to add the water to space out those molecules like a cut, and you're going to cool it down so that you can kind of mute your palate and kind of start to get through some of what's in your glass, to find that appreciation. And I think those are
Absolutely.
appropriate times. But you as the person who's experiencing the thing that has been crafted for your consumption, you have to make the decision on when that is. And there's no rule. So don't go with some rule because some guy told you. You have to experience it. This is a
Some
very you
shop owner.
centric thing. A shop owner, a som,
Bartender,
a whiskey
som.
who's like,
Whiskey
this is
som.
how you do it. Yes, this is how you can do it. It doesn't mean
Right.
it's how you do it. So that's my rant for tonight. I know that's usually your neck of the
No,
woods.
I'm very chill
Um,
tonight. I am not a Hulk.
And yeah,
Always
I
angry.
just
I'm
had that.
chill.
So,
But I'm very chill today.
I've got my cube,
You have taken-
so I'm going to jump into the cube here, and I really am enjoying what it's done here. And
Please
see
do.
what's
You
going
get the Hulk hat tonight. A few chats to get to. Uncle P is drinking Blanton's tonight. So
Good for
Uncle
you.
Punky, right on. And then Safi's joining us.
What up,
Hello,
Safi?
Safi. Hello, gorgeouses. I think that's plural. And
Safi, I need you to do something with my wardrobe. More on that
so
later.
there you go.
Okay, now I gotta cap my rant.
Please do.
Adding a cube was a good choice.
Absolutely. That's what I wanted to get to.
Delightful.
I appreciate this more. Here's the thing. I still feel I am not excited about this. I'm kind of having a hard time getting through it. With the ice cube, it does help.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Every time I take a
guys.
sip, I get a Kentucky hug. Every single time.
And I kind of look at it like this, right? Like, technically, this is a bottom shelf product. We talk about bottom shelf bangers. They're out there. There's some amazing bottom shelf, low shelf bottles. You know, and they may get a bad rap, but this one, you know, and we do our best to try to be unbiased, but I really don't like this.
Nope. I'm going to agree with you. This almost tastes rot gut. This is like high-end rot gut. Rot gut is, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the term or may have heard it but don't know how to properly use it, it's when you have a low-end product that drinking enough of it will just make you sick. This tastes like a high-end rot gut. This is like, it tastes good. It tastes high-end. It tastes quality. But it also tastes like if I drink any more of this, I'm going to puke.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I want to like it. Everything about it, it's like a facade. Everything about it on my palate says I should like it. There is great spice notes. There are some pretty complex flavors that are going on. But to your point, James, I don't need to work that hard to find my complexities. I don't need to go after a $25 bottle to work that hard. A $300 bottle of Cavalon, I'm willing to work that hard on.
I think Buffalo Trace, to quote Jurassic Park, they were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think whether or not they should.
Oh,
and I hate to say that.
In the words of one of my favorites, and I'm shouting out to you, Garrett. Nature just
finds a way.
Finds a way.
Finds a way in a bad way
to dump it down the drain.
Drew. Hello, Drew. Welcome to the show.
Drew.
He's saying, is it better than that anchor chair French toast that we basically stole from Drew last night at Beer Zombies, which it was wretched, Drew. I hate to say it.
Wait, we stole that from Drew?
Yeah, so Vinny busted out that can
right
of beer, and that was Drew's can that he brought. He left.
So
he
Drew, I first as a good host, I'm going to tell you, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you.
You're welcome, Safi. She says she appreciates and loves the Jurassic Park reference, but please.
Drew, I appreciate you leaving that can behind or leaving it to be stolen.
I love that. Let's make that a thing. Let's start leaving treats out in Beer Zombies.
I think that's funny.
We're going to start putting like a little Foot Locker together.
I like it. A little geocache.
A little cash
geocache
in Boulder City. Friends, for those who don't know, we were at Beer Zombies Boulder City last night. Shout out to Vinny, shout out to Chris, shout out to Raquel. And they had a little wine and cheese event last night. It was a blast. Wild Rind. Shout out to you guys. Anyway, we were out there. We didn't really know what we wanted to drink. And our wonderful host, Vinny, breaks out this can, Drew's can. He says that can was awful from 2020. No wonder.
It was, okay. It was wretched. It was wretched. I drank it and went, I think I like it.
So for those that
I don't like it. It's bad. It was almost green pepper
It had a metallic green pepper tinge, very lightly.
It was kind of wretched.
It was an Angry Chair Untitled Art collab, which I love both independently. And maybe it tastes. I'm sure it tasted much better as a freshie. But whatever. Anyways, let's get back to the matter at hand.
All right, I'm ready to give you a score.
We'll get there in a second.
31.
Oh, wow, 31.
31 out of 100.
I think this may be the lowest.
I like the nose. Which
is this your lowest rating ever?
No,
you're very generous.
I've given a 9. I am typically pretty generous.
Wait, you've given a 9?
I've given a 9.
For what?
I don't remember what it was, but I remember I gave it. And you guys were all like, oh, BJ hates it.
A 9 out of 100.
Give it a 0. I could give zeros. I choose not to. Listen, the
Top
nose,
Feed. I didn't see you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
welcome
you
back,
off.
Top Feed.
I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing okay.
So the nose is nice. It gets a 1. The value, it's $25 bottle.
I'm giving the
what would I do with it?
Here's the thing.
$25. I
drink for effect. It's a $25 drink for effect bottle.
You can't get through it.
Yeah, you can't. If somebody's drinking for effect,
too hard.
They're not concerned about the taste.
I want to drink for effect. I'm going to drink $13 early times, which doesn't hurt. It tastes like ashtray water, but it doesn't hurt. And then the flavor, I don't hate it, but it's a 1. And so I'm like, okay, cool. The old score rating, that's a 3 out of 10. Okay, I'll give it a 31. Okay, yeah.
All right. Nose for me is a 1 as well. Taste, very, very difficult. I almost don't even.
I'm done with it. I'm not drinking anymore.
Here's the problem, and let me take a sip.
I'm gonna drink water.
Ooh, even
difficult. It's difficult, and without the reward. Like I like a challenge. I like a good thing that's difficult. And listen, I can do things that are difficult.
Not fun.
If there's a reward, there's no reward for this.
No, it's not pleasant. Like it's not
bad.
It doesn't feel good to drink. Like when I get home from hard day work, you put in 10 hours or whatever overtime, you come home.
If you like
and you just want to relax and unwind.
Cool, enjoy it.
Let us know in the chat why.
Yeah,
I would love.
Great.
Here's the thing. I would love to hear from some people. Put it in the comments. Put it in the chat.
I'm gonna call it out.
If this is your favorite or you love it, please tell us why.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I think we're very.
Patrick would love this.
Are you serious?
I think Patrick would love this.
What? For what reason?
Well, I'm just thinking back to like Patrick likes Dad's hat, like original Dad's hat, which I don't like because
we both don't like.
Again, I don't have to dig through that. I've had a Dad's hat I like, but regular good old off the shelf Dad's hat don't care for.
Yeah.
Some of the old Forester barrel picks and some of those old Forester
they're
store
too
picks.
Much. The again, 69%ers,
but they're a lot like this.
So
they're a lot like this.
I'm gonna take it a step further. There's some particular Blanton straight from the barrels. That
Agreed.
Too much.
Agreed.
That like almost like I've had a really hard time even taking a sip.
And
like, we're veterans. We're veteran
Patrick,
drinkers.
I know you're watching, so I want to be very clear. I'm not crapping on your whiskey choices. You like what you like. You have a whiskey profile that I know you like. And it's not always aligned with me, but we align in other places.
Yeah.
This, I think, lies on the outside of some of the things that you like that I just don't.
And again,
but I think Patrick would like this. I'm just saying. Like,
sure.
It's somebody who likes it's harsh is not the right word, but
that was terrible.
Aggressive.
It's very aggressive. It's very hot whiskey. So here's the thing. I'm trying to explain to you guys. I think we do a very good job of explaining tasting notes. I know it's probably a little bit of my congestion still, but I'm having such a hard time getting through the high alcohol. I can't get over that hump to really give you guys I get a little bit of
Blanton's Gold.
I get a little bit of sweet oak, a little bit of apple. That apple on the nose is pleasant. But I'm gonna get into my rating. Nose, I'm giving it a 1. Taste, I'm definitely giving it a 1.
Okay.
Value, I'm giving it a 3.
Oh, you're gonna get in the 50s.
So I think that if you're drinking for effect, but no, I'm not. I'm not gonna give it a 50. It belongs in the 40s. I am not giving it a 50. Okay. It is under 50 because under 50 is not good. 50 and above 50 is okay, acceptable, and then up. 50
Okay.
below is
Okay.
garbage. This is right there. This is hanging on the edge. It's on a ledge by one finger. Some guy hanging off the building. It's like a 40. I'm going to give it a low. I'm going to say 45. This is getting a 45 for me. Nose taste value.
I want it
I'm
on the
giving it a
record
3.
that James has scored higher than me tonight.
Yep. Benchmark, it's the end of the rainbow without the pot of gold. Top Feed Cocoa, absolutely. So
Top Feed, when are you coming on the show?
Yes.
When you coming to join us for a cocktail?
He's back to, or they're back to their Cavassier tonight. Very good. So here's the thing. Some of these were really good. We're going to keep going through the benchmark series. We love the small batch. Tell us what we have to look forward to.
Top floor.
So
top floor, bourbon that matures on the top warehouse floors tends to age faster as heat rises. This top floor bourbon is smooth, well-rounded, and to be enjoyed straight.
Okay. I'm actually looking forward to that because my interpretation is on the top floor, it gets kind of a faux accelerated aging. It goes through like an accelerated aging process. You're going to crack it open now, aren't you?
No, I'm just... Oh. I think we were talking about color changes.
Yeah, you don't want to look at color, though, because I'm sure there's no artificial coloring in here, but...
Dark. This is so dark.
This is the banger right now. The small batch.
Small batch was
the
good.
winner.
It was so good.
The small batch was delightful. And here's the thing. Here's what I think they do. I think Benchmark rides on the coattails of small batch being so tasty with the general public that they throw out this other stuff.
I'm going to make a controversial statement.
Okay, now's the time.
I feel about like this.
What is it?
As the foolproof?
Yeah.
As I feel about Thomas Handy.
Well, Thomas Handy is a polarizing rye to begin with. It's not good.
That's how I feel. It's like, it reminds me of how I feel.
This doesn't really have a reputation as a BTAC, though. That's where I kind of.
Well, we were talking about it being a possible BTAC reject.
Well, our Weller foolproof rejects, but even then, I don't even see it. It's nowhere close to Weller foolproof.
No.
Do you want to? No. Should we break out a Weller foolproof and do a comparison?
God, no.
Because there's no comparison.
I gotta be honest.
There's no comparison.
Honestly, this kind of ruined it for me tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
I'm really.
I'm not.
It kind of put me in a bad mood.
I'm not ready to pour anything else. This isn't.
Come on,
the BTAC rejects. This is the devil's rejects. It's bad.
It's missing all the marks. It doesn't put you in a good mood. It pretty much makes you want to fight. I think this is a fighting
whiskey.
Yeah, this is a fighting
whiskey
bourbon. I think this.
Hey guys, you want to fight?
No,
Take a shot of this.
It has. Yeah, Safi says wrecked your taste buds.
Yeah,
I would say that for sure.
I'm not excited about it. It's like eating. It's like when you eat something burnt. Like when you have to eat burnt dinner.
Yeah, or you're at a friend's house and you just get a plate of food and it's not good, but you have to force your way through it.
It's great,
guys. I don't know what else to say, but this gets a double thumbs down for me, and it's a sub 50 rating from both of us. What did you give it? A 31.
31.
Sorry, Buffalo Tracy, missed the mark.
Gave it the dirty 30. Yeah. So yeah.
Hey, really quick. Top Feed's asking about some people. Bob has been around. Uncle Punky's here. Redbeard, we talked about him last week.
We got to find him.
Don't know where he is. We have to email him. And here's what's crazy. Redbeard hasn't been around for a couple months, but the last thing he said to us, like, we're battening down the hatches because of a storm.
A tornado was
in Wisconsin. Him and Johnny, his new baby. And he hasn't been on since. So we're actually very worried about Redbeard. We believe we have his email because he's mailed us some packages and he's emailed us. Yeah. So sub 1K.
And there's Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
We're going to reach out to Redbeard.
Yeah.
And we got to email him.
He
was always here. He was like a regular on the show. We're going to do that tonight.
We talked about that 2 weeks ago, and then we got busy doing production drinking afterwards.
So Top Feed said he's seen him on Man Marino's show.
Oh, okay, good.
Recently.
Okay, good.
So we hope he's okay too.
Good.
We gotta ping him, we gotta find out what he's doing. Hope he's okay. That's all. We just want to check up on him. So Redbeard, come back. Anyway, what else do we gotta talk about? You want to talk about what's coming up here? I
had a rant.
I'm so upset. I'm getting upset about this. I'm done.
I think for the barrel buddies.
No, we got to talk about what we got coming up. We got the month of May.
We got nothing.
Um,
we got nothing on the books, Jimmy.
Next week, guys, we're going to do the top floor. So for those who don't know, let's talk a little bit about the top floor. Let's talk about what's coming up, right?
We just did. Where were
I'm
you?
spacing out then.
Space Case.
Thank you, Top Feed. We appreciate it. He'll reach out if he sees it.
Appreciate that.
Let him know that we're checking up on it.
Here's what we're gonna do. I'll tell you what we're gonna commit to, because we've been talking about it and floating it out and talking about it and floating it out. We're gonna commit to the month of May. We're gonna commit to the Canadian whiskeys in May. Everybody wants to see them. Everybody wants to see them, and I think it's a good time.
So Crown Royal.
Well, there's more than that. There's Canadian Mist and Black Velvet.
Yeah, I like your thinking. To be honest, we're doing a bottom shelf series.
We're not doing that. We are not doing that. But we'll do Pendleton. We can do Pendleton, which is delicious.
I think we need Canadian Mist.
No, we can do a night of bottom shelf Canadian whiskeys. We
just
can blind them. We'll blind them.
Here's the thing. My suggestion is as follows. We have one show where we do like 3 or 4 of them, just little tastes. We won't have a show dedicated to Canadian Mist, if that makes sense, right? Like we'll do a couple of the low shelf, bottom shelf.
I can get down on that.
Top Feed says Pendleton is Oregon poison.
Oregon poison. I thought it was Canadian whiskey. I thought Pendleton was Canadian whiskey.
Apparently not. Whistle Pig is sourcing their own stuff, right? Or do they get from Canada? No, I think they source from Canada.
Some of it they were sourcing from Canada.
Yeah,
but it's technically Vermont. They're in Vermont.
They are. Mrs. Askins, when are you going to do a wine show again?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that question. That's a good question. So we did make a contact. We made some friends.
We did actually. We made a wonderful Somm contact last night.
Which she's. Here's the best part. I rail on Jimmy all the time about doing wine on this show, and he's always like, meh.
I don't know a lot about wine. That's why.
But that's why we got to do it. That's why we got to do it.
I'll take the red or the white.
Raquel is going to come on. She's a Somm. Yep. And it was a Somm at a very prestigious restaurant.
That's all. We don't want to give up too much detail right now.
But I will tell you, she's a very prestigious restaurant who really knows her stuff.
That's great.
Was hosting a great event last night, and so it ended up talking with her about some of the wines, and was really, I mean, I can't wait to have her on the show. She said she'd love to come on and do some wine with us and introduce the world of Barrel Buddies to some more wines, which I know all of you will be happy.
Safi's looking forward to it too, as well.
We'll be glad to feature some wines.
And Toffee, do wine. Everybody wants wine.
Wine. Everybody wants wine. Yes. Thank God. I would love to do wine with you guys. Wine. Yes.
This is great because I think like I will actually learn something from this show, but then I kind of feel odd, kind of third wheel because I'm the odd man out. I can't contribute too much.
No,
like I can do my best to give you tasty notes on what we're drinking, but
that's cool.
I don't know.
Cool.
I don't know wine that much.
That's cool.
I'm all about, and that's what I love it. I'm all about that. So looking forward to it.
Gee, boo-boo.
So there you have it. I mean, that kind of wraps up the show. We got a quick one today because of how disappointed I think we were with this. I am really this was not good, man.
Yeah.
And our apologies if anyone from Buffalo Trace is like, you know what, we're gonna start sending these jamokes some samples to review eventually.
And then they're like,
and then they saw this review and they're like, not after today. But listen, that's why this is an unbiased review show. We tell you guys our honest opinions, and none of these distilleries put us on their list yet to do reviews. So one of these days will be important enough.
Wasn't a big fan of the old benchy mark.
Yeah.
Full
but I'm gonna say this much. That small batch makes up for the deficit of full proof. I think that small batch is such a winner.
It's good
at the $20 to $25 price point.
So good.
Wow, guys! Like, if you see it, get it. Do not get the full proof.
Yeah, don't sleep on that.
And just going back really quick to the top floor, and we'll explain this more for next week's show. That sitting on that top floor, you might get some accelerated faux aging. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what it's going to taste like. Yeah. So we'll talk about that more on next week's show. Bobby, it was great seeing you.
All right, final question for you.
Please, yeah, what do you got?
Would you rather have another pour of Benchmark Full Proof, or would you take a shot of Dickel Tabasco?
I take, oh God, these are both I really don't like. Wait, do I have to take a shot of either or? That's the decision.
So you have to drink the full proof or shoot the Tabasco. I would never make you sip that. That's gross.
I will drink the full proof. That
Really?
Tabasco's bad.
I will
man.
shoot the Dickel Tabasco.
Wow. For the Barrel Buddies, I'm James.
And I'm BJ. We'll see you next week.
And this is Bourbon Cat hanging out with you guys. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Ugh.
That was bad. That was so bad. So bad.